So what he said shortly after that was, okay, I'm going to change the subject entirely because he couldn't integrate it. He just could not swallow it. You know, I've been doing my physical therapy recently. I've been really getting into it, and I've gone through all these different levels of relationship with my physical therapy, and I've seen myself grow and change. And the whole thing about the physical therapy is that I have a tremendous amount of pain, and I can't do my physical therapy without risking a tremendous amount um, of pain and possible permanent injury. And so I've had to face this and come to terms with it and learn and grow with my body and the of mind I need to be in. And I need to stay true to that state of mind and not be too distracted from outside forces. And all this helps to inform me how my father has needed to relate to his life and the renditions he tells himself. And, this is why the solemn feeling and the awe, humility, and respect of yesterday was so important to me, is that I understand he's going to die. He will be dead and gone someday, as will I, as will all of us. But I have an opportunity here and now, while I'm living, to experience him as he is, as he would wish. I think that's one of the great of life, that we can meet up with someone, make a choice to allow that someone to be themselves. Now, we can't do it all the time, obviously. There are terrible people out there that we just can't tolerate. But I've been blessed with a father that is mixed both, and I can tolerate in parameters. And I'm able to be aware of this stuff in my own being, in my own experience. So, my physical therapy has been teaching me a great deal about being able to understand the process and relationship with pain, and how I deal with my pain, and how I am capable and disabled how to live my life with this pain. And I understand that I do the physical therapy that I need to do to lessen my pain overall and to stabilize my body and bring a modicum of health and not overdo it. Stay within my limits. Stay within my boundaries. Respect these boundaries. Exist within. Make the most of them. For they, if I have to live. The voice my father has not, um, doesn't have this experience. And I think it's important for me to bring this experience to give an object lesson of does experience this. Step back and detach themselves and realize that this is only a little mythical rendition we tell ourselves that helps get us by. And I know that I've had to retreat from a great deal of life in competitive fields because competition destroys the magic, the wonder, the awe of the rendition that is effective in its productivity of my life. someone trying to take up an alternate view and argue their point. It's like, listen, I get it. I know that we all have our own rendition of life, but I've come to understand, and I have a natural posture and stance with life to not take myself too seriously, not take my rendition too seriously. And when I take myself too seriously, people just end up laughing at me and thinking it's ridiculous because it's not natural for me. But I also respect that this detachment and clarity of mind that I have can really drain the magic out of another person's life and rendition they tell themselves of their life. And this is what I've been really learning, is that, I've become aware of some aspects of things that I experience and I'm living and who I am. But just the presence of somebody being aware of that is enough to another person that can wake them from their dream, and they may not be ready to wake up. And I can get violent reactions from people. Just violent reactions. And I've had to come to terms with what I've observed is the fact that even though I can see where they're at, that doesn't mean it's my job to make them take the next step. In fact, I told my father that, basically what you did was you aggrandize yourself, the rendition of yourself for your own aggrandizement. You make your own vision of who you are bigger than it really is. And this is all really important for me. That's why I try to do this. I put myself out there. I try to be as honest as possible. Not to get in arguments with people, but just to put it all out on the line. To really risk it all. And because it's not about being right or wrong. It's about being real and authentic for me. I don't have to be right. I don't have to succeed. I don't have to be here. I choose to be here. You see, and I can leave at any time. This is one of the things I realized. My pain was so bad, the torment and the sadness and, that wellspring of all that stuff coming up inside of me was doing a lot of negative trips and stuff. And I came to the realization that I could end it. I mean, I really consciously accepted the fact that I could end it. And something rose up in me. I said, well, I don't want to yet. I choose to live. I choose to be here. So I understand that nobody has to deal with anything. But I think a lot of people, to protect themselves from this realization, tell themselves they do have to deal and put up with and I respect that because it can destabilize the consciousness to become aware of the dreams we tell ourselves. And if I come along and I destabilize somebody else's consciousness just by being aware of what I'm experiencing and understanding it and coming to terms with it and being at peace with it, just, I don't want to destabilize somebody else's consciousness. I had a friend who did a behavior that they were very, very disappointed in themselves for having done. And I told them, I said, listen, you're becoming aware of darker aspects of your being, less of being. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with you because they didn't treat me this way. I was not the recipient of what they had done. But, and that, we can't be everything to everybody. So I happened to end up being the person that I could be there for this person and say, it's okay. This is not the worst thing ever, because it wasn't. It seemed really bad to them. And I said, you're just integrating a darker aspect of your being. This just makes you a more whole person, and it will enrich your life. It will make you a more real person, not a happy person, always good and always perfect.